There's a classic UK rap song by the rapper Nines, and it's called Money on My Mind. And the chorus of this song stands out to me specifically. He says, "You motherfuckers are dead broke, dead broke. Me, I'd rather be dead than broke. You motherfuckers are dead broke, dead broke, dead broke." Now, the reason the song stands out to me is I'm someone who's come from the absolute bottom of society. I've been dead broke. I've been in overdraft. I've been in debt. And I'm also someone who's made multiple 6 figures profit, completely changed my life. And as I'm making this video right now, it's 5 a.m. in Dubai. As you can see, we've got the amazing Burj Khalifa view. We've got the whole city view in front of me. And I've experienced the ups and downs of life in terms of financial quality, which we'll talk about after. And I can tell you right now, Nines is spot on. I would rather be dead than broke. Now, I'm not making this video for someone who's broke to try and say, go kill yourself. I would never do that. I would never suggest that, because there was a time in my life where I was working a warehouse job and I was on like a balcony kind of like this, but instead of overlooking the Burj Khalifa, I was overlooking the bottom floor of the warehouse. And I promise you, I kid you not, there was a voice in my head that said, Zayn, you're fucking broke. This is how you're gonna live your life forever. Why not jump off? But then there was another voice in my head that said, you know what? You'll figure it out and you'll get to the end. And I know that that will be you, so don't fucking kill yourself, right? The reason I'm making this video is to emphasize how shit life is when you're broke. And then I'm gonna emphasize how good life is when you're rich. And hopefully that information is gonna inspire you to start making money. So let's go back to the chorus of the song. I'd rather be dead than broke. Why is that significant? The first reason why Nines is spitting absolute facts is when you are broke, your quality of life is absolutely shit. Now, right now you're sitting at home, you probably go to school or you have some kind of 9-to-5 job, or even worse, 12-hour shifts like I had. And you're thinking, well, life's not that bad, because of course you wake up, you go to work or you go to school, and then you come back and then you have a few hours to yourself. But you don't realize how bad it is because you haven't lived the other side. Let me tell you the other side. The other side is you wake up with no alarm, your body's absolutely recovered, you step onto the balcony from your bedroom, you see the Burj Khalifa outside, you say to your friends, well, what do you guys want to do today? You jump in a taxi, a premium executive taxi, by the way, not the fucking bus like I used to do, although you jump on. And then you go to the best shisha lounge in Dubai, you smoke shisha, your bill comes to like £400 or £500 per person, you pay the bill. After that, you go home, you do a bit of work on your laptop, you make thousands of dollars, and then the day's done. And of course, you go to the gym and whatnot, right? I'm not advocating to be a slob, but that could be your life. And it's not about necessarily the fact that, oh, the shisha is the most expensive, the food is most expensive, right? Because I'm in Dubai right now and people say Dubai is the safest city in the world. There's no conflict, there's no drama, people won't steal things. And I'll tell you right now, every single person who says that is talking about the millionaire lifestyle or the multiple 6-figure lifestyle in Dubai. For example, yesterday I went to the shisha lounge, okay? And I ended up spending £500 there in a single day. So I bought some shisha, I bought some food, good times, good vibes, good people, good staff. Life was good. But today I went on YouTube and I searched shisha lounges in Dubai, and one came up, right? I'm not gonna say the name of it. And let's just say it wasn't in the best area of Dubai, but the shisha looked pretty good. So I was like, fuck it, let me go there. So I'm in the lounge with my friends, we're smoking our shisha, we're having a great time. And there's a dude in the corner like giving me a death stare. He's not a member of staff, he's just randomly just giving me an absolute death stare for no fucking reason. And I'm just thinking like, yo, what's up with this guy? So I said to my friend like, yo, what's up with this guy? And he's just like, whatever, ignore it. 10 minutes later, still giving me a death stare. I call the waiter over and I say, look, bro, this guy over there, he's staring the fuck at me like he wants to fucking attack me. Like, I'm not scared, you know, I got my Muay Thai shorts on, I'm ready to absolutely fucking whoop his ass, you know, he's not ready. But I fear for my safety in the sense of if he comes up to me and he does something to me, I'm gonna go to jail in Dubai, and that's not a joke, right? You don't fuck around in Dubai. So this guy's staring at me, I call the waiter and I tell the waiter, okay, well, this guy's staring at me, and then this guy comes over to me, he starts talking nonsense, and I say to him, look, bro, I don't want any conflict. He offers to buy me a drink, passive aggressively. I'm like, I don't want the drink. He offers me a fist bump. I say, no fist bump. And then he actually moves tables closer to me just so he can sit there, just staring at me to intimidate me. Eventually, we leave the lounge, we're done. Then he comes outside. He goes in his car, trying to flex his shit car, pretends he's getting something, goes back inside, right? Now, what's the significance of the story? When I was in the amazing lounges, the staff were amazing, the people were amazing, nobody was being aggressive. But as soon as I try to be humble and experience all the different parts of Dubai that Dubai has to offer, and I go to a cheaper lounge where the shisha, instead of it being £80, is like £20 or even lower, then people try to intimidate me, okay? So I'd rather be dead than have to live in an existence where I go to a restaurant to eat with my friends, go to a restaurant to eat with my family and smoke shisha or whatever, and there's motherfuckers trying to attack me, there's motherfuckers trying to intimidate me for absolutely no reason. And this is just one of the many stories of why I'd rather be dead than broke, because your absolute quality of life is absolute fucking dog shit. And that's just something materialistic like food and shisha, right? But you're saying, you know, bro, I can just cook at home. I'm not the kind of person that eats out. Whatever, cool. But let's talk about the biggest one, the 9-to-5 job. You don't realize how bad it is to work a 9-to-5 job. Like, I absolutely don't understand how this is normalized. I want you to imagine, I said to you, give me $5,000 and I'm gonna invest this money for you and I'm gonna give you a return. So you give me $5,000 and I come back and say, okay, here's $2,000. And you say, okay, cool, so, you know, I've got 7,000 now. And I'm like, no, you don't have 7,000. You gave me 5 and I gave you 2 back. You would look at me like, this guy's absolutely fucking crazy, yet you do that with your time. And the craziest thing is money comes back, but guess what? Time never comes back. God has already planned your death, and when you die, and that's it. You're absolutely done. Your time on this earth is finished. And I'm not gonna go into what happens after death. That's for you to figure out. But I'm here to talk about this situation. Imagine you give me $5,000 and I give you 2,000 back. And you're like, yep, we got 7 now. And I say, no, you don't have 7. You have 2. You would never do that investment. That would be absolutely asinine. Yet, that's what everyone does. They work from Monday to Friday. And what do you get in return? You get 2 days off. So whilst the average person gets 2 days a week to live, and let's be completely objective here, you sleep 8 hours both of those days, so 16 hours. So realistically, you're only getting 2/3 of that time, okay? So instead of getting 24 hours, you actually have 16 hours to yourself every single day. So you have 32 hours. So you dedicate all this time to someone else. And in return, my friend, you get 32 hours back. Wouldn't that be ridiculous? Well, that's exactly what the average person does, whether you go to school or whether you work a job. But then there's the other side of life, where instead of having to wake up and dedicate all of your time to someone else to make them more successful and make them more rich, or even worse if you work in the government, like you're a teacher, which let's be honest, the students aren't even gonna do anything when they're older. You wake up and there's no alarm clock. There's no job. There's no boss. You do some work on a laptop for 3 to 4 hours a day, and you get to choose when you do that work. And not only do you get to do it from anywhere in the fucking world. For example, me, I don't live in Dubai. And I don't live in Malaysia, and I don't live in the UK yet. If you click my Instagram, which I'll plug below, you'll always see me in those places, and you're like, where does this guy live? Well, I actually live in Thailand, okay, but I've got a base in Kuala Lumpur. Right now, I'm just hanging out in Dubai because Andrew Tate's fighting soon, and I want to watch it. So not only do you get to work whenever you want, but you get to work wherever the fuck you want, and guess what? This is a cherry on the top. You get to make 10 times more money. Whilst my peers at the ripe age of 21 just graduated university, and they're making £1,800, £2,500 a month, I make $15,000 up to $30,000 every single month. And it does fluctuate because as an entrepreneur, it does fluctuate, right? You already know that, I don't have to explain that to you. But I make anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000 profit every single month. And guess what? They work harder than I do. And that's why I would rather be dead than be broke. Because I would rather have a business that makes me $3,000 a month, but I get to travel around the world and do what the fuck I want, than have to work a 9-to-5 job and only get £2,000, £3,000 a month and live like absolute dog shit. You know, I heard Andrew Tate say something, and he said, we're still living in slavery. They've just packaged it differently. For example, back in the day, the slaves used to work for free, and in return, they would get food and they'd get shelter. Now people work and they get money, but the crazy thing is you only get enough money to have food and shelter, because once the rent's paid, once the bills are paid, and once you've done your food shop for the month, you have no money left. So we're practically all still slaves, except for the entrepreneurs, and that's why I'd rather be dead than broke. So the next reason, and I'm laughing because this one's funny, right? But the next reason why Nines is absolutely right, I'd rather be dead than broke. This is a weird one that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but it's females, women, okay? So in the world of dating, people say she either wants you for you or she wants you for your money. And I would never want to be with a woman that wants me for my money, okay? I want a woman that wants me for me. But what is a man without money? Because when a man makes money, it increases his confidence, it increases his aura, as the young kids like to say nowadays. For example, one of my mentors that I learned from a while back was Sam Ovens. And Sam Ovens said the amount of money in a man's bank account is directly proportionate to his confidence and how straight he walks and how back his shoulders are. And I think he's absolutely right. If there's ever a period in my life where I have no money in my bank account, I'm scared, I'm frail, I walk around his shoulders and I'm just not confident. But then the payout comes, $5,000, $10,000, whatever. And then I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm back in the game, and now I'm walking, I'm bopping my shoulders, I'm shaking people's hands, I'm buying things at a restaurant, I'm giving people tips. Like, I'll never remember when I was poor and I had to used to walk to the job center, right, which is where you collect your government welfare in the UK. I would feel like shit. I'd look at the floor and I'd speak to the lady at the front. She wouldn't even make eye contact with me. But now, with all the money I have, when I go to a restaurant or I see a girl outside and I approach her, I'm 10 times more confident. So let's take it back to the point. Well, what is a man without money? Can a man really walk around confidently when he knows he doesn't have money in his bank account? And some people say, yeah, it's not about the money. But no, my friend, can you? Because I don't believe that you can. In fact, that's a reason why a lot of men are like actually, in fact, that's a reason why a lot of men are shy and timid, because they don't have any money, okay? And again, back to the point, what is a man without money? A man without money can't afford a haircut. When I was on universal credit, I never had money for a haircut for 7 months. In fact, eventually I went to the barber after I got my job and I got my first paycheck, and he made me pay double for the fucking haircut. That's how bad it got, okay? So you can't get a haircut, lowers the confidence. You can't wear nice clothes, which again, lowers your confidence. But not only does it lower your confidence, but it lowers your attractiveness, right? If you can't afford a haircut, you can't afford nice clothes, it lowers your confidence, right? We know that. But also, you don't have the confidence to talk to a woman, because I'm not saying a woman should be with you for your money, but naturally, when you get a girlfriend, you're gonna go out, you're gonna spend money on her, you're gonna go on dates, you're gonna do nice things. But imagine you have to go on a date and you're looking at your bank account, you're just like, fuck, the money's not there, my card might decline. You don't think that's gonna affect the way that you're gonna speak to her? Of course it fucking would. Or if you take her to fucking McDonald's, which by the way I do, I think it's a baller move. But if you take her to McDonald's, you're like, yeah, you have to split the bill 50-50, which that I don't do, by the way, and I don't recommend. You don't think that's gonna affect your confidence? So what is a man without money? Because we know women are attracted to competent and confident men who are actually attractive to a degree. So you're not gonna be confident because you're gonna feel like absolute shit, because you can't take on dates, you don't look well, you don't dress well, you don't dress sharp, and you're not able to, radiate some aura into the world. But also, you look like a piece of shit, or not as good as you could have if you had money. So that's another reason why I'd rather be dead than broke. Ever since I got money, my dating life has completely transformed. Like absolutely transformed. I walk into a room, I'm confident. I sit at a restaurant, I talk to the waitress confidently. I order what I want, I ask her what her favorite things are, and I order those things. And after that, I'm able to say to the waitress, I think you're cute. Add me on WhatsApp, add me on Instagram, and I'll take you out sometime. And I do. So I'm able to go to a restaurant anywhere in the fucking world, and I'm able to fuck the waitress. Isn't that fucking crazy? Yet the average man can't even say hello to a woman. You know why? Because he's fucking broke. And that's why I'd rather be dead than broke. So I'll be completely honest with you. I was trying to think of another point, some smart ass point of why I'd rather be dead than broke. Let's not sugarcoat it, okay? There's no way you can be a man and you want to wake up in the morning, have to commute to work in your shitbox, and yes, a BMW is a shitbox, I said what I said, or on the bus, and have to go answer to another person, and they give me commands on what to do, and I have to be there for 8 hours minimum, and I have to do what they say, and if I don't, I'm not going to be able to eat, and I'm not going to be able to have shelter. And then there's no way you want to do that 5 days a week for 2 days off, and then there's no way on those 2 days that you're unable to actually do anything because you have no money. There's just no way you want to fucking live an existence like this where you don't have confidence, you can't talk to anyone, and you're just absolutely an invisible piece of shit in a shithole. There's just no way. So I'm trying to sugarcoat it, I'm trying to come up with some smart reasons, but listen, it's common sense, right? You know this. I'd rather be dead than broke. Luckily, I'm never going to be broke, so I'll never be dead, like by my own will. And if you're broke, I'm not telling you to kill yourself either, okay? That's absolutely asinine. I know how that feels. That's something that I wanted to do for a long time when I was broke. But I promise you, there's light at the end of the tunnel. You watching this video, one day, I promise you, you'll make enough money and you'll be able to come to Dubai. As you can see, like the sun probably rose whilst I'm making this video. I don't fucking know. Burj Khalifa, all these other buildings, I don't know the name. Looks pretty fucking cool, okay? And if you want to learn how you can do the same, first link in the description. I've made an entire course for free, 1 hour, 20 minutes, teaching you how to start making money online, $10,000 to $20,000 a month. So if you want to watch that, go check that out. Remember, I'd rather be dead than broke.